Hey everybody, this is Clay, the Average Gamer, and tonight I am bringing you my final review on LA Noire. Now, for those of you that have watched my previous videos, my first impressions on the game, as well as my Q&A that I did with a lot of the questions that were asked during my my last post on LA Noire. You know that I've been going and playing this game for quite a while, trying to get a really good feel for the game. And I'll tell you the reason for the initial thoughts and a final review is simply for the fact that a lot of times whenever you're playing these games, you really get into the intricacies and the newness of the game wears off, and then you finally get into the heart of the game. And so that's really what I am excited about bringing you this evening. And although I have enjoyed the game, I really wish I could speak as highly of it as I did whenever I gave you my initial thoughts. I really wanted to go and take the time to go back to my initial thoughts and kind of recap some of the things that I had mentioned. First of all, and a lot of these still ring true, to be honest with you, but initially the controls and the feel of the game, it felt a lot like a Rockstar game. And as I got into playing it, it still, as far as the movements and the controls, although they seem like very familiar to me as far as in comparison to Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, a lot of people had asked me a lot about the free play and the free roam, and unfortunately on this one, outside of the game, there's very little free play and free roam, and I'll go into that as I get further in my review. Second, I was talking about the captivating story. It seemed very captivating, very interesting to me, and in all intents and purposes, for the most part, it still does. It have very awesome character animation, and to me, that is by far the favorite thing. The thing that I took most from this game is just the awesome use of character animation and how they were able to use those expressions on the faces of the suspects and just all of the characters in general. I thought that was very amazing. And then, of course, I had a little trouble differentiating between the use of doubt and a lie whenever investigating questioning a suspect, and over time that not only became very evident, it became very repetitive, and definitely got to know what to look for to be able to tell the difference in those. Another thing I had talked about was the immense size of LA, and it still is very big, but of course the way the story plays out, you get to explore the entire area, and that is something that it makes it, I guess, not seem as big, but it is still huge. If you ever just get in and drive and try to go from one end to the other, it takes a long time. So it was really cool how they were able to take you throughout LA and let you see all the different things, all the different places and everything, and use that entire city and how they took you through it. So, and then what was the initial thought difference between my initial thoughts versus what what I found after playing the game for a number of weeks? First of all, the cases, man, they just seem to get a little repetitive. Not the stories itself. That was not what became repetitive. It was just the fact of you knowing what to look for, you know what's going on, and you kind of get to where you know what the end is going to be. So on that, the cases, and then once, of course, you figure out how to read the question and the suspect, like I mentioned, it just becomes pretty easy to tell the difference. What I mentioned before, the free play, it's just not fun. I mean, to be honest with you, there are hidden items that you can go around the city and you can look for. There are locations, there are movie reels, there are hidden cars, there are newspapers, and all these things are hidden around the city. Outside of actually going and finding all these things that are hidden everywhere, and whenever I say everywhere, they are literally hidden everywhere. Without some kind of guide, I would be very surprised if there is somebody that can find everything that there is to find in the city. But let's be honest, driving around a city, aimlessly looking in different buildings and vacant areas. I mean, it's just it would get a little redundant, and unless you just set out to make it a mission in your life to find all these without any help, it just really doesn't make sense for a lot of people to do that, and I know that's something that I really wouldn't want to do. There's not any multiplayer in it, which with a Rockstar game you would think that there would be just something extra with it. I will say the extra time and the extra energy they put in this game has definitely gone into the development of the characters and the character animation. The side cases, they really didn't last very long. There were only 40 of them, so as you're playing the game, while you're in the middle of doing a case, you will get a call over the radio, and I had mentioned this in my previous commentaries, but you get a call over the radio, and then you go in and you catch a crook. Well, it kind of threw me off anyways in the middle of investigating, because there's a lot of clues and a lot of questions and a lot of things that you have to remember in order to make it through the case and get a good score on it. And those things were kind of a distraction to me, and they just weren't as long. They weren't very long and weren't very interesting. So for me to actually go through and spend a lot of time on these side cases, it's just not something I did. Now, that's kind of some of the negatives I guess I found over the 3 weeks that or 2 weeks or however long it's been that I've actually been playing. Now, I will say a lot of my initial thoughts are still good. Now, I've still enjoyed the game, and I think maybe with a little break in playing it, I might still enjoy going back and maybe playing the cases in order to find you can actually go back and replay the cases and try to answer all the answers correctly that you have, and try to do a improve your rating as far as your final grade on the cases. And so at some point in time, yes, I may find myself wanting to go back and try that out. But right now, I'm really just happy getting through it. I am still wanting to bring with you guys the final chapter, the final case that is in this. I think I've got just maybe a couple of left right now. I'm on the arson cases, which this that I'm showing you is actually one of the arson cases, and it's at the beginning the cases seem to be very short. They seem to take a long time. I mean, they send you a lot of different places, and this is one of the good things that I found about Overplan. They actually got more in depth. The cases got more in depth. They took a longer time to actually go through and beat, and they were still fun. It was outside the actual story is what really became a little redundant for me. So this is what you're going to see is just some simple. I tried to break down this case and show you the different aspects of the game that you've got, whether it's the questioning, the chases, the problem solving, the puzzles, and just kind of give you guys a full view of what all to expect in this case. Now, I think that this case actually took me almost an hour to completely go through and completely solve. So the portions that you're seeing are it's very watered down and cut from the overall experience that I had in this. Let's see some of the other things I really wanted to talk about. I guess kind of my overall thoughts here. Of course, I'm going to stick, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. It had some really great character animation, and I would say out of everything that I saw in this game, that was definitely the most groundbreaking and probably one of the coolest things that will actually stay with me from this game. And I would really like to see if Rockstar can continue to incorporate things like this into their future games. I thought it was definitely a very cool and unique little extra that they put in there. And it really helped tell the story and sell the game. Of course, like I said, the story itself, the story gameplay on this is a lot of fun. I did enjoy it, and still do enjoy it. the familiar gameplay with Red Dead and GTA. You know, initially my thought was if you like those games, you're not really going to go wrong with this game. But unfortunately, it still lacks that free roam and that you found with Red Dead and with Grand Theft Auto. You know, I had one guy ask me if you could go on just random rampages and start taking out citizens, and there's really nothing like, you can't do anything like that. You can't even it's very rare that you can actually just run over somebody and do anything more than knock them down. So anyway, that was one of the things that, you know, I really wish that there was more of that in this game. But I can understand, being a policeman, how you may not be allowed to go and just, you know, start shooting people in the face. That might not be a cool thing to do. I don't know, as a policeman, and still not be arrested and taken out of the actual gameplay. You know, I will say one good thing about it is it will have, from what I'm understanding, from what I've seen, there will be future downloadable content. Now, I'm sure that's meaning that they're going to have new downloadable content that will be more cases and things like that you will actually be sent to solve. Maybe more vehicles that you can find. You know, I'm not sure really what all is going to go in that, but I have seen that available, even though I have not really looked into it all that much. And the big thing about this game, though, I found is I think it really just lacks that stability. You know, without the multiplayer, without the free roam, it just kind of makes it where after the time that I played it, it just became, you know, a little redundant, a little repetitive. Still challenging and still intriguing with the story, but it just became redundant and repetitive, you know. And so, all in all, I would say, you know, guys, if there is something, advice that I could give you, is it a game that you would still like? Possibly. It could be. I would not at any point now, after I've had the opportunity to play this, actually go and tell somebody, dude, you need to buy that game. You've got to buy that game. You're going to love everything about that game, enjoy that game, and play that game for a long amount of time. What my advice to you would be to go to GameFly. Check the game out, rent it. You know, keep it for as long as you want. Keep it for, my guess is, about after 7 days, you're going to kind of get the feel for what you've wanted from the game. You'll get what you wanted from the game, and probably getting a little worn out from it, and ready to move on to, I don't know, the next game that's going to be coming out. Now, if it's something where you go and you buy a lot of games over a year's period, like myself, this may be worth it. It may be worth it to you to go back and revisit this game at a later time, and or try the downloadable content, or, you know, something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, I really enjoyed playing this game. Not upset with my purchase at all. I have enjoyed playing it, and I've enjoyed being able to bring you the gameplay. I hope you guys have liked the gameplay. I hope you guys have liked the commentary, and most importantly, I hope it's really been helpful and beneficial to you guys, seeing and hearing kind of the game and how I've seen it as I've been able to bring it to you. Other than that, guys, that's it. This is my gameplay. I will have one final gameplay where I will go ahead and push the entire final case for you, and I might have to do that in segments, considering the time that it takes. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, feel free to rate, comment, or subscribe. Until the next time, guys, this is The Average Gamer. I'm out. Later.